Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Anchor and Ascend podcast with me, your host, Angela Papa. So, welcome to Aries season. It's here. I am super excited that Aries season is here. As an Aries myself, it always is. It's just my favorite time of the year. Springtime is my favorite time of the year. Aries season is my favorite time of the year. Love celebrating my birthday. So, today's episode is the first of a series that will come out at the beginning of every new astrological season, where I am going to talk about the zodiac sign of the season and what that zodiac sign represents and how to best make use of the energy of that season. So I figured Aries was the perfect zodiac sign to start out with because Aries is actually the very first zodiac sign on the wheel. So Aries season actually represents the beginning of the astrological new year. It's basically a fresh start. So from the end of February through March, we had Pisces season. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. And beginning on March 20th, the sun moves into the sign of Aries, and it will be here until April 19th. So if you were born between March 20th and April 19th, and you weren't aware of this already, then you are indeed an Aries sun. So what is Aries? I'm sure if you listen to my podcast, you know a little bit about each of the zodiac signs, but I am going to act as if you know nothing. So Aries is, because it's the first sign of the zodiac, it is the leader. Aries is the initiator. Aries is independent. Aries is inspiring, and Aries is very individualistic. Aries is a fire sign, and it is ruled by the planet Mars. And what is Mars besides a giant floating flaming rock in space, right? And what does the planet Mars represent? The planet Mars represents motivation, drive, leading, getting shit done, right? It's really that like driving force to drive you forward. So that energy is really entwined in the zodiac sign of Aries. So what is Aries season good for? Aries season, well, the first thing that I'm sure everybody knows, right, is spring cleaning. First day of spring, do your spring cleaning, clean out your house, clean out your apartment, clean out your closet, clean out your car, right? And quite literally, that is a very good thing to do because not only is the weather getting warmer, depending on where you're at in the world. I'm in the East Coast of America. So the weather's starting to get warmer. The birds are starting to come out and starting to chirp. The flowers are starting to bloom, right? And so naturally we want to kind of clean out the muck from winter, right? And so Aries season, it's also because Aries is the beginning of the zodiac, right? So you're cleaning out the muck of the past length of the zodiac season, right? The past 12 months almost. The zodiac doesn't go on a January to December calendar. It goes from end of March beginning and ends in the following end of March. So you're just clean. It's a good time to not only clean out your physical space, right, of the muck of winter, but also clean out your internal space, right? So at the beginning of Aries season is a great time to go on a cleanse. And when you also think of it, because Aries is a fire sign, and what does fire do? It really like revs things up. And what is your digestion good for? Your digestion is good for really like revving things up and digesting things and making sure you get all the nutrients. So if you do an internal cleanse at this time, you're really helping your digestive system as well, and kind of like that fresh start to the astrological new year, as well as springtime, and it's going to be summer soon. You want to look good, right? So it's funny and interesting how all of these things kind of intertwine with astrology, right? With the cosmos, with the stars, with the energy. And it, I believe in my own life, all these things that I kind of did in the beginning of spring and around this time of year before I knew what Aries season meant, and that it's the beginning of the astrological new year, I just felt the pull to do these things, to clean, to cleanse, da, 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 da. And it's funny that we don't even really know how the energetics is very supportive of that, right? And we might not even know why we have the urge to clean, right? Why we have the urge to spring clean. And it's because that's the energy that we find ourselves in. That's the season that we find ourselves in. So it's cool that we know that it really does have an energetic match and a match to the stars, right? A match to the whole cosmic womb universal support that I love to tap into. So yeah, so it's a great time to do all that kind of cleansing. But even on even more of an internal way, cleansing out the mind, right? Cleansing out any beliefs, any thought patterns, any habits, any ways of being that aren't really aligned with you, with where you want to go, right? Because Aries is all about initiating. Aries is all about starting something new. Aries is all about like opening up the book to a fresh page and writing your story. So we have the opportunity now with Aries season to be like, okay, well, what do I want this story to look like? What do I want this next season of my life to look like, right? Like not even just the next month, but the next year, since we're at that beginning of the astrological year right now. And in order to really, most of the time, so say 9 times out of 10, in order to get where you want to go, it means you have to let things go that you currently are holding on to, right? So whether that means you're holding on to a relationship or a way of being or some really limiting thoughts or ways of being in scarcity and thinking that you're not good enough, I mean, the list can go on and on about limiting beliefs that we may have about ourselves and about life around us. It's a good time to really take note and be like, all right, well, this is my dream. This is my vision for the next year of my life, right? This is what I really want to initiate. This is what I want to set in motion, right? When you think about it, even with the springtime blooming, we plant seeds now and then they start to sprout. We start to see the little sproutlings start to spring up. And then in the summertime, they're like beautiful, full-blown flowers, right? So while we're planting these seeds now at the beginning of Aries season, what part is there like bugs in the soil? Is there rocks in the soil? Do you need to put some fertilizer down, right? Do you need to change out the soil and add new, right? I'm doing this in a very like planter esque way. I mean, I love my plants. If you're watching YouTube, you could see that, but I'm definitely not like a gardener. But it makes sense because it's springtime. And I hope that you're getting this visual and you're making that connection that sometimes while we're planting new seeds for new visions, new ways of being, we have to do the cleaning first, right? So this is a really good time to do that internal cleaning as well. I know I personally am starting like a new breathwork regimen every morning to really like cleanse out my system and to release things that are holding me back for the visions that I have for my life for this next astrological new year, the things that I am planting now to bloom, right? So really take a moment today, tomorrow, but take a moment while we're still in the beginning of this Aries season to see what seeds you're planting, what intentions you're making, right? What do you want to start blooming? What do you want to start sprouting? And what modes of being, behaviors, thought patterns are not in alignment with that? And where can you do your own internal cleanse in that way? And I feel like I'm going to mention it a million times on this podcast because it's my favorite practice to do for releasing, but the embodiment breath work that I teach, that I facilitate, that I practice every morning is an amazing way to support you on that internal cleansing of whatever it is that isn't in alignment, right? Whatever those bugs are, whatever those rocks are in your soil. So when you sign up for my newsletter, and link in the show notes, you get a free guided practice for this embodiment breathwork. moving on. So apart from the cleansing, right? So the spring cleaning, the internal cleaning, Aries is a fire sign. So Aries loves to get shit done. And so as an Aries myself, and having a lot of fire in my chart myself, sometimes be a little like, oh, we gotta go do this. We gotta go do this. And it's like so many things are moving, and you just have like literally sometimes I feel so much fire building up within me because I'm so excited and I'm just like moving a million miles a minute that I have to remind myself, hey girl, you need to slow down and breathe, right? Which is why I think this breath work is so important for me personally, because I really need that with all the fire. But you're gonna start to feel that forward moving energy with Aries season, because Pisces season, it's the end of the year. And what is Pisces? Pisces is the dreamer. Pisces can be a little bit confusing, right? Things can be a little bit foggy during Pisces season. Our dreams could be wild during Pisces season. We could be crying all the time because we have so many emotions, right? And the lower octave of Pisces season is, giving into addictions too. So if there's any like addictive thought patterns or addictive behaviors that you've been engaging in during Pisces season, first of all, have compassion for yourself and use the energy, the fiery energy, to initiate into a new behavior, right? To initiate into a new way of being that is more supportive, right? To initiate better, healthier habits, right? Initiate healthy habits that really are supportive of where you're going and what you want for yourself. So we have that energy here to really hone in and be like, okay, this is the way I want to go in my life. And you feel like it's like the oven's ready. It's like ding, ding, ding. You feel like it's ready to start taking action. It's another big thing with Aries is taking action, taking action, taking action. Not just sitting on the couch and hoping and waiting for your life to be different, or hoping and waiting for clients to come in, or hoping or waiting to get a new job or be in a new relationship, or whatever it is that you're desiring right now. Aries is like, well, go out and do it. Right? Aries is like, no one's going to do it for you. No one's going to bring your dream job to you. No one's going to bring your clients to you, right? No one's going to bring you a partner and sit them right on your lap like, here you go. You need to go out and do it, right? So that means aligning yourself to be an energetic match for these things to come in. Do it. Start to make the changes, right? And if you listen to my desire episode, becoming a vibrational match for your desires, I talk all about that, right? So go out there and do the things. Go out, make the changes to yourself that you need to make to be an energetic match for the things you want, right? So action, action, action. Aries is not about sitting back and being a bypasser. And use the forward moving energy of Aries season to go out there and get after what you want. Aries is like, if Aries wants something and someone tells Aries they can't have it, that makes Aries want it even more, right? Because that ignites that fire within Aries. Like, well, screw you, I'm going to go do it anyway, right? And what is fire? Fire can be sassy, right? Like fire gets what it wants. So use this fire to get what you want. Use this fire to be who you want. Use this fire to do what you want, right? Do, action, action, action. Use that Mars motivating energy. Aries is also all about individuality and being completely and uniquely yourself, with pretty much no fucks given on what anyone else thinks. So do just that, because you know what? If you're going out in the world and you're being a people pleaser and you're doing what people think you should be doing and what you think people will like of you, and being a people pleaser and just nodding yes when you really mean no, you're not being true to yourself. And Aries is all about being true to yourself. So start out this astrological year by being uniquely you and owning your individuality, right? And another, I guess you could say it could be it can be a downside of Aries. The Aries is so individualistic. The Aries is just like, if I want something done, I'm going to do it myself kind of thing. I've definitely done that quite a few times. And part of my work is calling in support for the things that I want to do, because you can't do everything on your own, right? But if you are the type of person who never does anything on their own and you're always relying on other people to do stuff for you, you can use this Aries season to start like taking life by the reins. Like, what's the saying? Take the bull by the horns? Yeah. Take the bull by the horns and do it yourself, right? So just use this time to do things the way you want to do it and do what you want to do, and who cares what anyone else thinks, right? Aries is me. Aries is the self, right? So Aries can also be seen as selfish because it's just like me, me, me. Because when you think about it, it's the first sign of the zodiac, and the zodiac wheel starts with each different areas of life and each different areas of self. So of course, the first sign, first house, is going to be all about me, all about the self, all about being individualistic, right? So it's also a great time to just focus on you. How can you focus on your own glow up? How can you focus on being the best version of yourself, right? And I mean, that really does tie in with doing the internal cleansing, whether that be with a better diet or actually going on a cleanse, cleaning your house, right? Cleaning out your mind, right? Cleaning out your beliefs, your thoughts. So, yeah, like focus on you. Focus on being the best version of you that you can be. And if there's any project that you've been wanting to initiate or start, like say you've had a really, because Pisces season, we can have like downloads and visions of things, since Pisces is really in that dreamy space, intuitive space. So maybe you received a download or an inspiration or an idea, or maybe you've had this idea ruminating for a while. Use the energy of Aries season to start putting that in motion, right? So if you have an idea for a new course, or if you have an idea for, I don't know, a fun thing for your friends to do, or if you have an idea of a new offering that you can offer in your business, anything, if there's anything that you've been kind of waiting to put in motion, using this time in Aries season is a really amazing time to initiate and just start putting these things in motion, to really start getting the ball rolling, because the energy is there and it's supporting, right? And that's something that I'm going to talk about a lot on this podcast and this YouTube channel, because it's something that I've practiced in my life for years, of just knowing what the universal and cosmic energy is, right? So knowing what's available to you at all times, because the energy shifts. It's not the same all the time. So having the tools, having the awareness to know what the energy is of the day, of the month, of the week, yada, yada, yada. And be like, all right, well, how can I best use this to my advantage? Because that is living a life in flow. And that is really, I mean, gosh, the universe loves us so much, and the cosmos and everything is so divinely orchestrated that the way the energy moves, ebbs and flows from one energetic, from one sign to the next, one season to the next, really sets us up for success, really sets us up for a complete flow in our life. So all you need to do is understand the energies and how to best use it to your advantage, which is why I started this podcast, which is why I'm starting this series about each astrological sign at the beginning of the season, so you really know how to best make use of the next month of your life, right? So if you have been wanting to show up as a leader in anything in your life, if you've been wanting to step into a more leadership role in your business, or in like a group setting, or in your job, or maybe in your household, use this time to do so, right? And also see where maybe you're not like consciously aware that you wanted to step into a leadership role, but ask like, where can I be more of a leader? And where can you be more of a leader in your own life? Like, again, taking taking the bull by the horns, right? Taking your life into your own hands. Nobody is going to give you the life that you want, right? No one's going to be like, here's how to be happy. Just press a button. And that's how you're happy. And that's how life's going to start flowing. And that's how everything's going to fall into place. That's how you're going to get success and connection and love and joy. That's it. No. So how can you be a leader of your own freaking life? How can you lead yourself into being the best version of you? How can you lead yourself into being the most unique, individualistic version of you, right? And how can you lead yourself to success? And only you know those answers at the end of the day. I can't tell you, your friends can't tell you. I mean, people can be a mirror and give you ideas and inspiration, but at the end of the day, you know yourself the best. So really use this month to, and this next, until April 19th, to be a leader of your own life. There's something else that just really wants to come through here, that like nobody is going to go after your dreams for you as well. So if you have a dream for yourself, if you have a vision for yourself, use this month to start setting things in motion, even if it's just writing some ideas down, right? Like, I'm not saying if you have an idea for a business to start the business and launch it this month. Like, no, that's not possible. You can't launch a business in a month from inception. However, get the ball rolling. Initiate. When I think of Aries and I think of this season, it's like we have a match at the end of like a candlestick, or what are those like TNT things, you know, back from like the Looney Tune cartoons. If you are Gen Z or below, you will have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm probably aging myself, but it's like you have a match and you light the end of this stick on fire, and it's just like bursts up the flames, right? And it's sizzling and it's cracking and it's going and it's going and it's going. That's Aries season. It's the ignition. Ignition? Ignition. It's the ignition of that light, of that flame on the candlestick, of the TNT thing from Looney Tunes that hopefully someone out there knows what the heck I'm talking about. Here's a better analogy. It's putting the car key in the ignition and starting the car, right? So what car are you starting? Where are you driving? Start to get clear on these things and start driving the damn car. Put the key in the ignition and start driving. Another thing with Aries, it's like, do it before you're ready. So when we have, especially if you have like big visions and big dreams for yourself, you're like, well, I'm not ready yet because everything needs to be perfect and You're never enough. First of all, there's no such thing as perfect. There's no such thing as of striving for perfectionism. So just throw that out the window, because you're going to get analysis paralysis and you're never going to start the damn thing. So start before you're ready, right? And then tweak it as you go along. As an Aries myself, that is something that I've always done. I have an idea and I just start before I'm ready. I'm very good at like, something I want to do. All right, let's just start it, right? Because it's already encoded in my DNA because I'm an Aries. But we all have, whether you're an Aries or not, we all have access to that energy in Aries season. So start before you're ready. Even if it's a little something, start before you're ready, right? Even if it's like, I kind of want to start being, I don't know, a coach or something, or I really kind of want to start being like a nutritional coach. I don't know, whatever. Just go on your Instagram and be like, hey guys, I'm gonna start doing XYZ, right? Just start. Just initiate. Put something in motion during Aries season, whatever it is, and you will have an idea as I'm speaking these words. I know it. If you are listening to this right now, you are meant to hear this message. This is my fire Aries is coming through. You are meant to hear this message. So start something. Just put it into motion. Start before you're ready, and then you can tweak and tweak as the astrological years goes on and the months and da. So I'm curious what everyone's going to be starting and initiating this Aries season. Um, it's my favorite. Like you can feel the fresh start in the air during Aries season. There's inspiration everywhere. I mean, just look outside. You can see the flowers start blooming and the beautiful plants are sprouting and the birds are chirping and the weather starts to get a little bit warmer and you could just finally take that big breath of air like, a fresh start. A fresh start. Aries season provides all of us with the opportunity for a fresh start. So what are you starting this Aries season? How are you planning to use this fire? How are you planning to use this motivation? How are you planning to use this really forward moving energy in your life? Because just because we're in Aries season, and this is something I wanted to touch on, and this is the same for all seasons. If you're really in tune, right, psychic, like I'm really in tune with the cycles and the astrological seasons, because I'm astrologer, yada, 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 like I can feel when it changes, right? But not everyone is that in tune or aware that they're in tune. So at the end of the day, like everybody has free will. So just because it's Aries season doesn't mean every single human in the entire world is starting and initiating something new, right? If you're kind of asleep at the wheel, you're just asleep at the wheel, or you're at the train station and you took a nap and the train came and went. So really use the energy that's available to you right now. If there's a change that you're looking for in your life, initiate it. Aries is a fire sign. What does fire represent? Fire represents transformation, right? You got to burn it down for the new to be built up. The beginning of this season, we are giving the opportunity to burn down whatever it is that is not in alignment with what we are building, with what we are claiming, with what we want to move into. So don't fall asleep at the wheel this Aries season. Take your life into your own hands and start something new. Start whatever it is that you've been yearning for. Even if it's just like, I've been feeling really unhealthy and I've been too lazy to go to the gym and too lazy to eat healthier. Use this season to start going to the gym and to start eating healthier. It doesn't mean like it's a big life-changing thing, even though that's pretty life-changing at the end of the day, right? Over prolonged periods of time. So don't think of this season like, oh my God, I have to make like a huge change in my life and start my business or go move to that city or find my partner. No. Initiate. Make one small change. Then that leads into another small change. And then that leads into another small change. And over time, it all builds. But if you spark that fire, right? If you put the key in the ignition during Aries season, you're going to be able to go a lot faster. You're going to be able to get to where you want a lot faster. Because what does fire do? It moves fast. What does Aries do? It moves fast. What do? I talk really fast because I'm an Aries. So we have the opportunity, if we start things during Aries season, we have the opportunity to really quantum leap in our lives, to really get us to where we really, really beautifully want to go. And it doesn't mean we're going to quantum leap in a day, but we put the key in the ignition. We started it, we initiated it during Aries season, which is the best way to make use of the energy and the best way to start out the astrological new year. It's funny, it's like the Gregorian calendar. Who knows where that even started? Why January? I mean, like, I don't mind it, right? Because, it's the holidays and then New Year's Eve and da 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 da, but a very human way. But who even came up with that? I'm sure there's a reason. I just don't know what it is. But everyone's like, January 1st, new year, new me. The gyms are packed, right? Everyone thinks that they need to start something immediately, right? Like, oh, this year is going to be the year I do XYZ. I'm going to start at January 1st, right? And I don't know if you've noticed, but I really noticed specifically January 2022, so the beginning of this year, that this January did not feel like there was forward moving energy at all. If you're on my mailing list or you are in my world, you know I was talking about this in January. It was the opposite. It was kind of like we were just like still kind of sitting in it, right? Like things didn't feel like, I personally did not feel like I was moving forward at all. I was doing a lot of internal work. I was doing a lot of reprogramming work, a lot of healing. I did not feel like, okay, it's ready to go. The key was nowhere near the ignition. Let's just put it that way. And so it's funny that because January is associated with the number 1, or because it's just, that's what the Gregorian calendar says at the beginning of the year, doesn't mean that that's what it is energetically. It doesn't mean that's what it is energetically. Energetically, Aries, March 20th. Would it be nice if it was like April 1st or something? Would it make more sense to our human brains? Of course. But it doesn't need to be. March 20th is also the first day of spring. Spring. What is spring? When everything starts sprouting and everything starts blooming. And like life. It's like we're given life again. Makes more sense to me. So I base my life and my intentions and my cycles on the astrological calendar. And let me tell you, when it was the first day of Aries season, I was like, hallelujah, thank the Lord. I'm so happy. I really needed this forward moving energy. So I'm an Aries and I don't like to feel like foggy, even though I have a lot of Pisces in my chart. But, you know, just like, what's the life you want to live? How can you initiate something right now? No one's going to make these changes for you. No one's going to hand you your dream reality on a silver platter. No one's going to hand you your business. No one's going to hand you your dream job. No one's going to hand you your ideal partner. No one's going to hand you your community that you're looking for. You need to go out there and get it yourself. Take life by the horns, or take the bull by the horns. I keep thinking like take life by the horns sounds better though. Maybe I'll just like make that a thing. And Angela vocabulary. But take life by the horns, okay? That's what I'm really trying to drive through, because the energy is here for it. The energy is here for it. And start before you're ready, even if it's just a small little action step that you can take. So what action step can you take today, this week, this Aries season, to get the ball moving on something that you really want? To get the ball moving on something that you really want to initiate into your life? And how can you step up and take the lead of your own life? Stop sitting in the driver's seat, the back seat, or the passenger seat of your life. Get in the damn driver's seat. Put the key in the ignition and get driving, baby. And if you're an Aries, you're going to probably be doing 100 miles per hour, because that's how we do, because we like to be fast. So, I crack myself up sometimes. If you don't make yourself laugh, guys, you got to make yourself laugh. And if no one else laughs at your jokes besides you, that's fine too. Doesn't mean you shouldn't be your individual self, your unique self, right? I'm just owning my Ariesness of me. So, find your drive. Find your motivation. Find your fire within you and spark it. Okay? If there's something that you need to do to be inspired, go outside and look at the freaking flowers blooming. right? Find your inner spark and ignite it. Because the world needs your inner spark ignited. And if there's something that has been ruminating in your field, in your mind, in your awareness that you want really badly, or you wanted to start or something, start it. Start it. Start it. And if you need support in any of this, I also offer one-on-one coaching in 3 or 6 month containers where I really help you with the inner healing work, with the releasing work, with the reprogramming your mind work to become an energetic match for the things that you want in life and to help you start initiating whatever it is that you want to initiate in your life. So I'm a transformational coach. So if you're desiring support in your transformation or in your initiation, all the information to work with me is on my website, link in the show notes. There is an application, and we do a free 15-minute call to see if we're a match for the coaching. And you can also just email me or DM me on Instagram, and we can chat about seeing if this is a good fit for you. My Instagram is at AngPapa, ANGPIPA. Again, information's in the show notes. And I am so excited. I'm so excited it's Aries season. I'm so excited. Yay, spring is here, Aries season here. It's time to be fiery, it's time to be individualistic, it's time to take your life by the horns. Take your life by the horns, and let's see what this next astrological year has in store for us. What are we going to create, guys? What are we initiating? Let me know in the comments on YouTube, or send me an email or send me a DM on Instagram and let me know what you're claiming when initiating this Aries season. Because I would love to just support you and clap my hands for you and hold that vision for you as well. So I hope everybody has an amazing rest of their day, and I will see you on the next episode of the Anchor and Ascend podcast. Bye.